Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Hey, welcome back, everyone. I'm going to ask this question. When you get home after a long day at work, do you walk through the door of your home and do you feel good? Do you think, wow, it's good to be back here. Can't wait to get on the couch. Can't wait to get in bed and just watch TV. Do you have that happy, elated feeling, or is it just like, oh, I'm back home. All right, great. It's a place where I keep my stuff. It should feel the other way, like it's part of your dream. Or, you know what? It's a certain room in your place where you're like, yeah, that really resonates with me. It feels good. How can you make all of your living space feel fantastic? Well, work with a designer. Got one for you. She transforms spaces. She creates dreams. And in a little bit, we're going to give you a tip for the family room on how to really, really make it inviting. Deborah Parker joins us on the show today. How you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm happy to have you here. And this is somebody that's been doing this for a long time. I'm talking decades, right?
Yeah. Don't give away my age, but yes, decades.
For you, I want to give your backstory, what got you here. But initially, when you're working with somebody, the process, it starts with an idea. It starts with a goal, but you've also done interior designing and now kind of pivoted over to more of a remodeling kind of feel along with that. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, you got it. Exactly right. It's morphed over the years, depending on, a stock crash or moving or just the trends. And there's a lot of building going on. Where I'm at now, there's a lot of people moving into this areas and they want their full house furnished. So I literally do that before they even move here. And we have a lot of gutting homes. So I love that. We just go in and tear it up and start over. It's a fun time.
You're in North Carolina, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I've been thinking of moving there since I was in my 30s, and time for a change soon. I'm just going to leave it at that. But I've been there a number of times, Cary, Raleigh, LA, all different, even names I can't even pronounce and remember. But I just never had the confidence to just pack up and leave. But now you can pretty much work from anywhere. It's wonderful. And I'm gratified to hear that it's still moving forward. Like, I'm on Long Island, New York. I can't even tell you, building a house. What is that like? I haven't seen that in forever, unless it's a, one-off, very rare occasion spot build where, like you said, they, knock the house down, put one up. So it's nice to see things are, moving forward where you are.
Yeah, we get a lot of people transferring from, California, which is where I'm originally from, and from New York and the East Coast. So, the five big ones, we're one of them here. And so I'm near, just north of Charlotte in North Carolina, up near Lake Norman, which is a beautiful area, not too far from the lake here. And home, but compared to California and New York, I mean, it's beautiful here. Plus, it's green all year long. I mean, I could sell it all day long. But I'm really glad to be here. I've only been here 6 years now, and
wow.
I'm loving it.
And I'm in between. I sold a house, and it's just not the right time to buy where I am. And I haven't seen anything that really, when it's like meeting the person of your dreams. I feel when it's right, it resonates and it feels right. How did you? Deborah, how did you get into this whole line of work? Where did you, when you were a kid, did you like making the Barbie house and decorating it and things like that?
Oh my gosh, no, I didn't do Barbies. I was more like, sports and out kicking the sand in the grass and throwing rocks at my brother. But I would say that, I always had, I think it was just my dad lecturing to me all of my life when I was young, go out and get them and do this. So, and I just really absorbed all that. So when I grew up, I left high school a little early and just kind of wanted to go out and do my own thing. So bottom line is I started with, and I put this in my paperwork, it's just a short brief of how my brain worked back then. I was in groceries, but then I came across this big apartment complex. I mean, like huge. And I went in and I said, hey, to the superintendent, who do you have to clean this apartment building? And they're like, well, I mean, you can bid it if you want. So it kind of went from there. So I guess I had a little bit of entrepreneurial instinct, and it got me a little team and bid that. And I started doing, large hospitals and downtown buildings. And so that kind of got me that way. So then I eventually moved towards the design, and I worked under an architect for years, and that's where I got my training, a world-known architect that's just amazing. And we designed homes from scratch. And what he did was very high-end, beautiful homes. So from there, I really, I think you learn sometimes more by being out there than, school is great, but you have to learn the business aspect, but you have to have a knack for it. A lot of people love this and want to work with me or do different things, but it's not that easy. You have to like chaos. You have to be able to multitask and handle a lot of different things. But I, like the vision, I could just see. So I was able to just go in, we flipped home to the Bay Area, just kind of gut them all, rebuild the interiors, and sell them. And I've also done that for people that buy rentals, and also for new homes or ADUs, like in the backyard, the small little tiny homes that people are doing now.
Wow. You said something that resonated with me, and I want to make sure I'm hearing it right. I've been doing broadcasts forever, since I was a kid. And if I'm going to produce something, I already hear it or I already see it. It's already done. And I'll say to somebody, yeah, you're good. It's going to be great. I know it's going to be great. I've already played it. It's already, different line of work than what you do. But when you're looking at a project and the pieces are there and you have the vision, is it almost as if you already see it done? Yeah, it's finished. I see everything up and everything. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, I see my vision, but the most important thing in what I do, I think, is the communication. Listen. I have to listen, and I love that part because I get a lot of information. And then by seeing where they live, how they live, or what, if they're in the modern or the traditional or the country, or what type of atmosphere they like and how they use a home, if they have small children. There's so many things that come into play, and even animals. I have these little pet centers I create under kind of hidden areas where they can hang out without getting stepped on. So I try to come up with the original something for them, that's very special and that just works with their home and how they function in it. And so as far as new design, I have these like ultra visions that are way out there probably, but I like to create a catwalk that goes from the house to the casita to the pool house. And, I see these things. So I love that part. But yeah, so you're right. As soon as I talk to them, then I come up with that plan and I can totally see it and try to explain it to them. But we move forward at that time.
I want to go back to what you said there about the animal spaces.
Oh, yeah.
So explain that. I have a vision myself. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tell me about that. That's different.
Yeah, well, you see it a little bit more now, but either under a staircase, we cut that out, which is more common now, but we've been doing it a long time. And you create a little library or a little reading.
It's wasted space typically.
Yeah, homework area, and then also it could be a little, an animal hangout. So you put the big bed in there. You can put their food and water. If it's for cats, you can do that too. Also under benches, the long seating benches, either in the living room or off the kitchen. You just cut out that big center area, and the dogs fit under there, and they have their own little space to lay down and watch without you kicking them in the kitchen and that kind of thing. So yeah,
I love
dogs
that.
are Oprah would love it, right? Because her animals are her children. So a lot of people feel like that,
It's almost as if you think of everything that, and I guess it depends, on the animal spaces. If somebody's pets are their thing, like if they're, it resonates with them, so it resonates with you, and you get it taken care of. That sounds very unique.
Yeah,
what you do.
Yeah, I guess it's experiences. It's a lot of fun for me. It's like artwork for me, and I always tell everybody that I would do it for free if I could, but because I enjoy it so much. So I do get carried away at my friend's house. My parents, and they're always like, "Did you move something?" Of course I moved something. Sorry, I didn't ask, but I have a tendency to do that. So if you ever invite me over, look out. I could be moving pictures around and doing all sorts of things.
Hey, have at it. Come to my place.
Yeah.
I'm good. What's your favorite room in a home to redesign or even decorate?
I would say, it's a toss up between, but probably, dining room, because it's a very, beautiful space. It's where the family sits down. And I really like to make that, cozy and inviting. A lot of people these days, they stand in the kitchen or they sit at the island or, and if you have a place where it's all set up and accessible, then it's part of your space. You just naturally go sit down there. And it's just a better place to converse with your family and connect. That's probably
what's your first thought in the dining room if somebody's having you take care of it? What's some of the things that you first initially think of?
Well, I first look at what they already have and see if, like the table's too big. I mean, I look at the overall color, definitely the lighting. It's a beautiful place to have great lighting, whatever motif you're aiming for. And then the chairs, sometimes the chairs are overdone and too stocky and big. And other times they're just too small. So it's really balanced. You have to see enough of the floor. You have to have enough space. And then it has to fit in the room where you're not backing the chair up and hitting the wall. And then art, color, wine rack, whatever it happens to be in there. So you want to have some things in the volume to fill the volume of the room.
When we talk about color, somebody told me that the walls are the last thing you take care of. You don't worry about that because it's so easy to change or mix a color to complement what you're working on. But not so much, the couch. Does that make sense?
I think it depends, but I always think that the color is one of the most important. Excuse me, I'm going to have a little sneezy moment. I think you kind of have to have an idea. You have to have the layout and the plan of the color combinations you're going to use in the house, and then I go to the most, like the statement piece. If we find an incredible rug, they want a really busy wild rug, or whatever is going to be the statement piece, or if they have their own like green leather chairs that they love, I'm going to go based off that, and I'm going to have everything kind of tie into that and be the right, warm or cool spectrum, and of course we're combining them now, but just kind of ground everything. But paint's very important because it just gives the glow, and the lighting too. The color of the light bulbs is huge. It shines off of the paint, which can make the paint look a little yellow or a little pink, and then that changes the whole atmosphere of the room.
I remember this was over a process of two different houses, and I'm not talking that far back. I'm talking over a span of maybe like 10 years and change. I wanted a yellowy gold color. I soon learned that it's like one of the hardest ones to nail. It got to the point in this family room that an extension that I had put on, I tried it, different paint on the wall, swatches, couldn't do it, abandoned that, moved a few years after that, and revisited that idea to somebody's house and saw it on the wall. I was like, that's it. Chesterfield buff. We'll never forget the name.
Hey,
and
nice.
Put it in the bedroom, and it was yellowy gold. I made it like a classy tropical vibe to the room, and I even put it in my home office because I like the energy. That took years to come up with that color. Yeah. Where you probably would have said, here's the one. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh, paint is just it's terrible. I mean. I think if somebody could just decide that for people, that is a big deal right there.
Yeah.
Because, I have them get, we boil it down. It's just too many colors too. Just boil it down to a couple. And once they see the combination of how it's going to go together, I think it's easier for them to choose that color. And then we paint it on the wall, like you said, in the light, next to the trim where the sun is coming in, we're in the evening. So they see it in all these different places and how the hue is, and you just got to go for it, because as long as it doesn't have the pink or the hue that you don't want, like too gray, too taupe, too mud, then you just have to go for it, because it's going to be beautiful, especially if you put a nice white, ultra white trim to it.
Oh yeah, isn't that great, that the contrast?
I love that with a little glossy trim. Yeah, it makes everything pop.
Never gets old. I don't know. Even if it's not trending, I'm still doing it.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I don't even look at trends. I'm just like, if it's here today and gone tomorrow, what's that going to help for anybody here that wants to have longevity in their home and make it timeless for them? You want it to work. You do what you want. You do what you love. The colors that you always love, and just how you do your spaces. Trends are fun, but not everybody wants, the siding and the, these different things that come up. I do love that. And I do tend to add those types of things. But I always make it where, well, later we can take that down and put, or wallpaper, and we can make it a change in that spot. And then the rest of the house is still good.
What's hot now in colors?
Oh, gosh. We're getting into some darker tones now. We're getting away from the gray and the cool. Let's think about that for a second.
I'm thinking greens. I'm seeing more greens pop up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Green is a color that a lot of people don't even like, but I love green. I actually have some leather green. They came out of a attorney's office. I love that green and brown combo of leather and wood. But I've seen, and I just did some black, like it's a soft black cabinets that go really nicely with the quartz, with the black marbling through it. Just a real elegant, but a high, kind of a glossy. So a lot of furniture is now, or cabinets are more glossy, like a furniture finish. And so I'm doing that in bathrooms, laundry rooms and the bedrooms, the built-in cabinets. And even kitchens. So yeah, definitely color. I would say blue doesn't ever go completely out, but they really have to like them to go that way. And I'm doing one now, but it's a softer blue. It's almost like a seafoam ocean blue. So it'll work really well in this one. It's a tiny home. It's a really cool place. We're in the middle of doing it. So, but yeah, a lot of deeper colors. So deep. Let's see, like that, what do I call it? The pomegranate type of color almost, in different hues, and like a pastel, almost like a mauve, which mauve used to be so out, right? Mm-hmm. Well, some of the mauves are beautiful right now. I just did a marble bathroom with white marble, but with a mauve tone through it.
Oh, wow. And
literally on clearance at Floor & Decor, and I love it. So...
Huh.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that, you drop a name of a store. Sometimes we think from our perspective that the designer has to go to these high-end places. It has to be, the specially designed warehouses that only designers can go in. I've walked into, Home Goods, like, oh, look at that. That's going to fit perfect. It could be just a vase, whatever it might be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I love those. I don't do some of the basics because they're just a really old style. But, coming from California to here, I used to have access to. So some of the things I saw here were literally, I had done them 8 years ago. And so I was like, I am not going to choose that. But, the house I just finished, and speaking of just stores, you go where it's great, and you go where you have, the budget. And even like I did a 7,600 square foot house. We did all Floor & Decor. 7 bathrooms, 2 kitchens. Wow. It was huge. And we did everything except for all the quartz and granites, of course. But from Floor & Decor, they have, I guess I'm selling for them right now, but they have beautiful selections. And they're very updated because they're nationwide. So I've been to their San Diego store, to the one in California. They have a couple here now in North Carolina. If they have one in your area, I suggest you go.
They do, actually. That's why and I've never.
They're very good. Yeah.
Before we run out of time, tip today. Today's Deborah tip. The family room, to make it more inviting. What can we do?
Yes. Oh my God. I've seen so many family rooms where I walk in and I literally hit the back of the couch and want to do the flip like I Love Lucy. But yeah, so my appointment the other day, I literally said, can we move this couch right now? And said, yes, of course. So we actually moved where the TV was going to be and everything in that room and changed it. I have a tendency to do that. So I would say, here's the tip. Now, these are really important. So you do this. It's like a DIY. You'll love it. And you'll feel a difference when you walk into the room. So when you walk in, you can't have the back of a furniture right there to block you. You have to have an inviting opening. Also, that's important. The rug, sometimes, the way you lay the rug, whether it's, I call it parallel or vertical to the room, can make a big difference. You want the furniture partway on, at least on the rug, and you don't want to squish everything against the wall. So bring it in, make it cozy, conversational, put a table in the middle with something in it, some spot of flower. and I don't mean the kind you cook with, a beautiful flour. And then, just minimize it in there and create that balance with the fireplace and the TV, and you'll love it. It'll make a big difference.
This is where I loosened up my the way I do my thing. Get the couch away from the wall. Stop doing that, everybody.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's
you need an energetic flow, and you're blocking the flow of energy by having it against the wall. Unless you, that's my opinion. Unless you might have to. Unless you have to, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if the room's only so big, which I've done those too, but the rest of the room, you still have to. When you walk in, you still can't have something that's blocking. So, and it's hard to do because they're open to the kitchen, and you have all this stuff. So you really have to find the right size. And I find all of that online. I literally drop ship it to my clients.
Wow.
And I do all the hard work, so the stress is not there for them. The stress is on me, but I thrive on that stress, so bring it on.
Yeah. I can detect your passion for doing what you do. Like you have nailed your purpose. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think so.
Seriously. Yeah. Anybody that walks into somebody else's house and starts moving things around.
Oh, yeah. Who can do that? Who has the huevos?
Yeah, it's like it's in your DNA.
I'm kind of both. I ask them first, but I will tell you that. Yeah.
How do we connect with you? I know you can do a lot of things virtually, even on a consultation basis. Don't have to be in North Carolina. Deborah, what's the best way to find you?
Well, I would say, I just kind of created a new website, but there's a contact sheet on it. So it's deborahparkerdesigns.site, SITE. And of course, I have all, if you Google me, Deborah Parker Designs and Services, I'm Facebook, I'm kind of all over the place. But I have all the social medias and all that. But that's probably the best way. And then, the phone number is there, or I can give it to you now if that's legit.
Please do.
Okay. It's 916-871-3732.
Awesome.
So that number has followed me for a long time, from California to here. And I'll just do a quick conversation with you. If you're local to the Charlotte area, I could come visit you and we'll do a consultation there, or we could just make a plan. I have several options, packages, you call them. I'll just do one room for you, either virtually or visit you. But I can do a lot. If I have measurements, or if I just have a scan of I don't even have to have the exact measurements. I can really just look at the room from several different angles and tell you exactly what you need to do, and approximate size of like some furniture or some art, whatever you have. I'll see it and I'll let you know, and
Great.
It'll be fun for you.
Great having you on today.
Thank you.
It was very refreshing.
I like it.
And final thought: the key is under the mat of my place. If you want to come by and just move things around, feel free.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you'd be shocked. Yeah. Some of my friends lock me out, so they know what I mean.
Deborah, thank you so much for today, and looking forward next time we get together.
Betcha. Next week. Okay.
You got it. All right.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.